right now, all we can do is cross our fingers and almost hope for a miracle.
Rachel Holt here at TD Garden alongside Zach Cox. And that chance of a miracle that head coach Claude Julien was hoping for is foiled by the Philadelphia Flyers. The Bruins could have clinched a playoff spot today, but instead, what went wrong?
Well, the Bruins would have clinched a playoff spot too. That's what has to have them kicking themselves right now. The Detroit Red Wings lost to the New York Rangers, so all the Bruins needed to do was even lose in overtime. All they needed was 1 point, and they just didn't show up today. I mean, the second half of the game, they played great. They outshot Ottawa. They were really kind of controlling it. But that came after they were outshot. They all had 17 shots on goal in the first period, allowed 4 goals in 9 minutes at the beginning of the second. And after that, they just couldn't come back. They dug themselves too big of a hole in the most important game of the season.
And of course, the Flyers didn't help matters, winning over Pittsburgh to secure that last wild card spot.
Yep. With this loss today, really made the Bruins' road to the postseason incredibly tough. The Flyers would have had to lose their final 2 games they play again Sunday. They would have had to lose both of those games, and one of those losses would have to come in regulation. Now Sunday doesn't even matter. Philly's in, Bruins are out, and they're looking at a long off season.
Tuukka Rask out of goal today. He had an illness. How much of that do you think affected this game? Coach Claude Julien and the team, they both downplayed that.
They really did. They said that it didn't really have that big of an impact. And I can kind of see that. I mean, you see the goals that Jonas Gustavsson gave up today. A lot of them were just careless turnovers, just poor puck possession, bad defense in front of him. I mean, the guy faced 29 shots within the first, I believe, 27 minutes of the game. Best goalie in the world isn't going to keep all those out of the net. Would they have had a better chance of winning with Tuukka in net? I think so, but I can't say him not playing was the reason they lost tonight. I mean, especially the final score, 6-1, Tuukka's not going to change that.
Zach, you've been following the Bruins all season long. What point did things start to go south?
I mean, if you just look at the schedule, you got to say it's that California road trip. The Bruins had been rolling coming into that. They made those moves at the trade deadline. They won 5 of their next 7 games. They went out to California, got swept, and that just kind of sent them into a tailspin. I mean, they lost 9 of the last 12 games. They were in first place less than a month ago, and now they're out of the playoffs.
All right, well, thanks for following along this season, and for all your playoff news, keep it here on NESN.com.